Are you lonely?
Yes, very much so.
What's your self-talk in your lonely moments, or
It's just a lot of shame and sadness and hurt. Like it's just and it feels like nobody wants me, nobody cares for me because I'm lonely from the place of where's my person? I want my person for me, and it's like here I am, 37, I don't have that person. What am I doing? I have this house and it's just me and Boomy, and I love Boomy to death, but it's just me and her.
were you the girl that said at this age I want to be married?
Oh, I definitely want to be married, and I want to have kids, and I want to have 3 kids. But through where I'm at right now, I'm not even worried about that anymore.
You feel like the clock ticking?
I feel like biological clock is ticking in that aspect as far as like kids or what have you. So I'm not stressing myself on that.
All right, Shalom, Maki. Shalom, Kolo Yabash Shai. Kolo Yabash Shai. Kolo Yabash Shai. Shalom, Shalom. All right, Isaiah 4:1 gets closer every day. Woman admits she's lonely and full of shame. All right, double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. All right, this is from just a response video from GMS Inspiration of the Almighty. And you saw the post-production video, bro. These women are through. You know, every time you go on social media now, you see, especially the so-called black woman, but you see these women in general are crying out. They're shameless. You know, they're spewing out madness. They're admitting, you know, this woman admits that she's lonely. And even the ones that don't admit it, they lonely as hell. They miserable, right? And life has taken a turn on them, right? And this is why the elder apostles been heavily talking about Isaiah 4:1, you know, because what's about to happen with these women, you know, ultimately, if you're not, you know, rooted, and if you don't have a man of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you're going to be for the taking, all right? You're going to be for the taking. This shit is going to get ugly. The scriptures talk about how, you know, women are going to be getting ravished in the time we coming into, man. You know, but this is the majority of women on the earth. Sad, lonely, full of shame, you know. And now that whole I don't need a man, all that shit is out the window. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shemir Shabbat. All that I don't need a man, you know, whatever a man can do, I can do greater. All that shit is dead. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is bringing that to an end rapidly. All right? So let me grab this real quick. This is because what do the scriptures say? A man of the Lord is going to be a hiding place. All right? Isaiah 32 and 2, it says, and a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So a man of the Lord is going to be a hiding place from the wind. The wind represents destruction, right? And, you know, you women have cleaved unto the so-called white man and his philosophies, his women's liberation, equality, and that shit is not working out, you know? Now all these women are miserable, single, used and abused, you know? And when all hell breaks loose and when the lights go out in America, when it's an apocalyptic situation, you women are not going to have no protection. All right? But for the women that believe, you know, the Lord does have certain women out here that believe, you know, and that are humble. You know, these are the women that are going to be protected by men of the Lord. But for the most part, most of these women in America are going to be destroyed, man. You know, if they've drank too much of that Babylonian juice, man. And really, men don't even want to deal with these women anymore. You know, you had a video a while back. You had women, you know, and you see women on social media all the time crying, complaining, where the men at. You know, you had a video a while back. A woman was talking about how she was in the club and No man wants to approach her anymore. No men. What happened to the men approaching women? Because that shit is dead. Nobody wants to deal with you women anymore, man. Especially the so-called black woman. The least dateable woman on the face of the earth is the so-called black woman because of her damn attitude. All right? But once again, when this shit gets ugly, when this shit hits the fan, keep that same energy. The energy of I don't need no man and you know, freedom to do what you want. Because that's what this world has given you. Liberty, you know. And these women have used their liberty to destroy themselves and to destroy the earth. You know. The whole earth has been flipped upside down. A big part of that, you know, is from these damn women, man. All right. And that's why, look, man, that's why the Apostle Paul said what he said. If you don't have a wife, actually, you know what? Let me actually go there. All right. If you don't got one, don't be seeking one. You know, if you don't got a woman, don't seek them. Because, brothers, Isaiah 4:1 is coming. And the women that are going to come in Isaiah 4:1 are going to be humble, ready to serve, ready to listen, ready to do as you say. All right. In order. This is 1 Corinthians 7:27. Art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loose. So if you do got a wife and she be pleased to dwell with you, you know, don't break that, you know. Keep that unit. Art thou loose from a wife? Seek not a wife. Meaning if you don't got a wife, now's not the time to be seeking for one, man. Because these women are tainted. When you go out and try to find a woman nowadays, she's through. You know, she got all different types of baggage, all different types of demons, because that's really all you're taking on. When you deal with a woman in this society, you're just taking on another demon, another headache. All right, so once again, the Apostle Paul gave the great advice. Art thou loose from a wife? Seek not a wife. If you don't got one, don't be out here looking for one. All right? Now, yeah, brothers going to do what they do. You know, at the end of the day, you burning, you go get you a woman. But for the most part, don't be out here, bro. And what did the Apostle Paul say? Be as though they had none. All right? Let me see. 1 Corinthians 7:29. But this I say, brethren, that the time is short. So time is short. Especially for you women, man. You independent women. I don't need no man. Keep that same energy. Time is short. All right? There's going to be an apocalyptic situation. All the benefits, all the goodies. And these women going to be for the taking, man. You ain't going to have no type of protection. You're going to have to keep that same Wonder Woman spirit, you know. woman king spirit, whatever, you know, that demonic, you know, spirit that you equal to a man. Keep that same spirit when the lights go out, when there's Jacob's trouble. All right, when there's no food in the stores. 1 Corinthians 7:29. But this I say, brethren, the time is short, it remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none. So even brothers that got women, you know, you got a wife, be as though you had none. Yeah. You know, you take care of your duties, you know, as a man, you know, you take care of what you got to take care of. But at the end of the day, we moving in the spirit. All right. So this is the wise advice from the Apostle Paul. All right. If you got wives, be as though you had none. All right. Living in wisdom. Now I'm going to play this video back. All right. Just to get back on topic.
Are you lonely?
Yes, very much so.
What's your self-talk in your lonely moments, or
It's just a lot of shame and sadness and hurt. Like
Yep. Hurt, sadness, shame, all that whole culture, you know, dating culture is catching up. It was a damn shame. All right? It's all starting to catch up.
And it feels like nobody wants me, nobody cares for me, because I'm lonely from the place of where's my person? I want my person for me, and it's like here I am, 37, I don't have that person. What am I doing? I have this house, and it's just me. and Boomy, and I love Boomy to death. But
Yep. And this is what, you know, the older generation of women have taught the younger generation. You know, to be hoes, you don't need no man. And now you got a lot of these women are 37, 38, 30, mid 30s, no kids, and now they crying because their biological clock is running out where they ain't going to be able to have children soon. You know? But that's what hoe culture gets you. That's what being a hoe, that's what being promiscuous and women's liberation and equality, that's what that gets you. So now we seeing these middle-aged women, you know, crying out, you know, that biological clock is ticking, and like, hey, like our hey, like homie said, what's his name, Kevin Samuels, yeah, you know, men age like fine wine and women age like milk. So the older women get, that biological clock is ticking, man. Men just get finer and finer. All right. So as we age, we get more valuable, especially the men of the Lord. Because the highest value men on the earth are the men of Yahweh Shemi Awashai, because we're going to be the ones to have a stable mind, to know what's going on. All right. To actually be able to protect, to guide, and to lead in a time of anarchy when all hell breaks loose. But once again, you independent women, you independent black women, you independent Latinas, you independent Native American women, keep that same energy of I don't need no man, I don't need nobody, I could do it on I could do bad on my own. Well, keep that a little bit.
it's just me and her.
Were you the girl that said at this age I want to be married?
Oh, I definitely want to be married, and I want to have kids, and I want to have 3 kids. But where I'm at right now, I'm not even worried about that anymore.
You feel like the clock ticking?
I feel like biological clock is ticking in that aspect as far as like kids or what have you. So I'm not stressing myself on that.
All right, Shalom Akim. Wa Akwath.
I'm going to fast forward the elders video. And be sure to watch this video. Heavy video, by the way. I'm just going to fast forward to a random point, let the elder speak a little bit.
Our research, where women has the power that they have, it's in American society under the separate claim white man. You know what I'm saying? So a woman has surpassed the man on the earth, and look at the decision making. Look at all the different deeds. Look at the history of decision making that the woman has made. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, horrible decisions. These women make horrible decisions. Look at and that's why in the ancient world, women didn't have the freedom to choose who they were going to marry. All right? The father had the authority to marry off his daughter, because you see the decision making that these women choose when it comes to marrying. You know, they choose the nobodies, the low lifes, the scums, the guy that just got out of prison doing shit with his life, sleeping on his mama's couch, you know, and then you wondering why you got 3 kids by this dude and he not taking care of you or nothing. He beating you up, you know, he's spitting in your face, all this. That falls back on you. That's the decision you made. You know, that's your bed that you made, now lay in it, right? Women cannot think for themselves, man. They need a man to guide and to lead them and to give them, you know, make the right decisions for them, you know? And once again, how do we know that? Look at today's culture. Look at the women, look at the men that women choose to lay with, you know? That's why you got all these single mothers, you know? And these so-called black women, they raising, which the woman cannot raise a son, bro. Like, that's why in a so-called black woman, she raising sons and they coming out full-blown faggots, you know? Moles, you know? Thanks to the single woman. Thanks to Keisha and Shirley, man.
We know, as the scripture says in Sirach, the 3rd chapter, the curse of a woman rooteth out foundations. So she did a lot of damage.
Oh, yeah.
She did a lot of rooting out of foundations. And now we're at the end of her little playground of what she's been able to run and do whatever she wanting to play and do whatever she want to do on the playground. Now we're at the end of it. And now they're starting to see it and feel it.
Yep. So once again, watch this video, but the time of Isaiah 4:1 is coming. These women are going to come begging and crawling in the right spirit, because they ain't going to be able to do it for much longer, you know. That's a survival mode is coming. All right. I Am Legend type scenarios. You know, the movie I Am Legend, the Book of Eli. Oh, yeah. So you women are going back to that humble estate. The Lord is going to humble these women, man. The whole world is going to be humbled. The whole world is about to be humbled, but especially these women. These women about to get humbled on a whole nother level. All right, so brothers, stay locked in, stay prayed up. If you don't got a woman, don't be out here trying to break your back and doing all this extra shit for a fucking woman, man. They're done. All right, they're through. They're headaches, demons. Now, brothers that got women, and if you got one that's good, hey, praise Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah for that. The water Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah for that. Women that are in order, you know, and women that are in order that watch the videos. This is not like the elder was going into. Like, this is not to discourage you. It's to put the fear of the Lord in you to keep doing what you're doing. For the women that are in order, keep doing what you're doing. You know, stay in order so you can get salvation. But for the women that are out of order, you done, you through, you out of there, and we gonna see your downfall. All right. So hey, shalom, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah, shalom.